Today on Between the Lines, the ultimate lesson for those who watch power, want power, or want to arm themselves against power. When we meet my guest, Robert Greene. I'm Barry Kibrick. Robert and his book, The 48 Laws of Power, gives readers all the tools they need to understand what power is all about and how to use that information to benefit themselves.
The 48 Laws of Power was published in 1998 by an American author named Robert Greene. The book was popular among prisons until they banned it. And there's something that I have realized over the past few months. Everybody seems to know about this book. Many people say that this book is evil and that it contains inhumane, moralless information. But let me tell you that that's bullshit. The information in the book is reality. And even if the information is bad, it's still better to know about these laws to make sure that someone doesn't use it against you. Because if you know these laws and your competition doesn't, then you have a massive advantage. Because what you have to realize is that everything, and I mean everything, is tied to power. When you gain power, you gain respect, wealth, and freedom. And even though you have probably read the 48 Laws of Power yourself, you probably have no clue on how to use the information in the book. And that's why you clicked on this video. Because in this video, I'll go over the most useful laws from the 48 Laws of Power, and I'll teach you how to use them in real life for success, romance, status, and well, power. But before we begin, you must do two things. Get a pen and a piece of paper so that you can write down notes, and make this video full screen so that you can focus better. Because if you cannot sit through this whole video and take notes, then you're not strong. You're lost. Law 3. Conceal your intentions. Law 4. Always say less than necessary. And Law 14. Pose as a friend, work as a spy. Now you're probably thinking, why the hell am I putting 3 laws in one section? And well, it's because these 3 laws right here have insane chemistry. Now using these 3 laws alone will not get you very far. And that's why you must use chapter 6 from How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And the TLDR of this chapter is basically let the other person speak and ask them many questions. Because humans, especially powerful people, love to talk about themselves. So by using Law 4, you will say less than necessary. By using chapter 6 from How to Win Friends and Influence People, you will ask them many questions and allow them to speak without you yourself speaking. Thus, you will automatically use Law 3, which is conceal your intentions, because through chapter 6, you're going to be asking them many questions, so that you will know everything about them while they know nothing about you. You will conceal your intentions while working as a spy. Now, one big disclaimer that I do have to give in this section is just do not overdo it, alright? Because when the other person sees that all you're doing is asking them questions and you're basically not saying anything about yourself, then the other person might not trust you. So you still want to reveal some information about yourself, but not too much.
Hey Joan, listen buddy. So I recently found this guy on YouTube called Marlon Rosario who makes great content on self-improvement, and since I'll be alive for a long time, I think I should subscribe to his channel since he gives great advice.
Sure, I guess I'll go check him out too.
Law 35. Master the art of timing. Never seem to be in a hurry. Hurrying betrays a lack of control over yourself and over time. Always seem patient, as if you know that everything will come to you eventually. Become a detective of the right moments. Sniff out the spirit of the times, the trends that will carry you to power. Learn to stand back when the time is not yet ripe, and to strike fiercely when it has reached fruition. Being in a hurry all the time makes you look weak, because it shows that you do not have control over your time, aka your life. Because at the end of the day, time literally just equals life. So if you don't even have control of your time, then how do you expect to have control over your life? The best way to gain control over your time is to make a daily schedule. Plan out exactly when you're going to do what time you're gonna wake up, what time you're gonna work, what time you're gonna eat, and what time you're gonna sleep. And like this, you know every single moment of the day what you're supposed to be doing, so you have full control over your time. This is probably the most overpowered productivity tactic ever, because every single second of the day, you know exactly what you should be doing. Now, of course, at the very beginning, it won't be 100% perfect. Of course, you'll mess up. Sometimes you'll watch some anime even though you're supposed to be working. Sometimes you'll just sleep like half an hour too late. And of course, that will like mess up the whole morning. So do not make your daily schedule fixed. You should be able to change things around. This has to be the productivity tactic that has changed my life the most. So I would highly encourage you to try this out yourself. Law 39. Stir up water to catch fish. Anger is a powerful emotion that can be used to your advantage. If you can stay calm while infuriating your opponents, you can gain an advantage. By finding their weaknesses, you can disturb them and play with them at will. The angrier they become, the more ridiculous they will appear. This will reduce their power. If you know me in real life, then you know that I pretty much never get angry, because anger is an emotion that makes you unstable. Like, imagine you're having an argument with someone, right? They're screaming at you, they're shouting at you, they're cursing you, but you're there just chilling and just laughing and just listening to them, right? The other person would seem like a complete fool. Everybody in that area would think that that you have more power and the other person is like a little kid who's crying. And overall, anger is definitely one of those emotions that can make you do some stupid things. For example, if you get really mad at someone and you end up punching him and maybe that punch ends up killing him somehow, then you're literally in jail for like 5 to 10 years, right? Now, of course, that is rare, but it could happen, or something similar might happen. Anger is definitely one of the emotions that you need to learn how to control. So you're probably asking, how the hell do you control your emotions? Well, it's by doing this one habit, and it's one of the habits that has most changed my life, and it's meditation. Now, I'm not gonna go too deep into this, but just know that if you do want to learn how to meditate, because it's truly like a superpower, right? Ever since I started meditating, like my life literally just took a 180, bro. I feel more calmer, I have more willpower, I have more emotional control, I have less stress, less anxiety. It's just literally a superpower when you think about it. And so if you do want this superpower, then I'm going to leave a link in the description below from the best meditations that I've ever tried. Law 23. Concentrate your forces. This law is so important that I literally have a picture of it behind me. Now, it's a bit different, but it's basically the exact same thing. Because think about it, right? There's two people that want to get into the NBA. Person one loves playing basketball and he wants to get into the NBA, but he has a part-time job and he also has a girlfriend who he wants to take care of and to go on dates with. While guy number two, all he does is basketball. 60 hours per week, 80 hours per week, all he does is basketball. He practices his free throws, he practices like his juggles. Like I don't know too much about basketball, right? But I can assume like he's like basically just practicing all the time. Who do you think is more likely to get into the NBA? The first person who has a full-time job and a girlfriend and like a bunch of other things going on in his life, or guy number two who only does basketball 80 hours per week? And you can see this exact same thing with every single successful person ever. Nikola Tesla, inventions every day. Albert Einstein, physics and theories every day. Kobe, basketball every day. Jeff Bezos, working on Amazon all day every day. So the next time someone tells you that you're working too hard and that you don't have balance in your life, maybe you should just smack them in the face. Law 25, recreate yourself. And law 34, act like a king to be treated like a king. Do you own your labels, or do your labels own you? Do they help you, or are they destroying your life? How you see yourself perfectly correlates to how other people see you. If you appear shy or timid, then that's how people will treat you. But if you appear confident, then that's how people will also treat you. Because when you carry yourself as someone who's confident, then you automatically become more confident. Thus, other people see you as more confident. But when you carry yourself as being shy, then you truly become more shy, and other people also see you as someone who's shy. My whole life, I always used to believe that I'm an introvert. But the truth is, I'm not. I'm definitely an extrovert. The reason why I thought that I was an introvert my whole life was because I truly just never had any friends. But as soon as I changed my self-image to someone who's an extrovert, I immediately started making more friends. I don't expect you to believe me, but that's truly how it went. Because as soon as I changed my self-image to someone who's extroverted, I immediately started going out more and staying at my home less. I immediately started to speak to people more, for example in the gym or in the supermarket, and thus I made more friends. Now, many people might say that this is like bad and like you're being inauthentic to yourself. And yeah, I agree with you, right? Like it depends, because I know that I was born as an extrovert, right? As a kid, I loved being around people, but as I grew older, I basically had no friends around me, so I convinced myself that I was an introvert. But now that I grew up and I got room temperature IQ, I realized that no, like I actually like being around people, right? Like I actually get energetic and I actually get motivated whenever I'm around people. So guess what? I'm an extrovert. And as soon as I changed my self-image, it all just flowed so naturally. So yes, if you're white, then you cannot convince yourself that you're black. If you're truly an introvert, then you cannot convince yourself that you're an extrovert. It's the same thing as saying that you're hardworking, right? If you're someone who is truly hardworking and you tell yourself that you're a hard worker, then you automatically become more hardworking. But if you're someone who's super lazy and you tell yourself that no, I'm a hard worker, then it simply just will not work, because it has to be realistic, right? Because remember, your self-image is everything. Do not let society, friends, family, or even your past define who you are. Create your own path. Now, there is dangers with this law also. For example, if people know you as a loser who plays video games all day, but out of nowhere, the next day you're like this ultra high mighty king, then of course people are just gonna think you're being cringe, right? To either make the process very slow, or disappear for a few years and come back as a king, or find new people to be around with who will accept you as your new identity. The best example of this is from the anime Attack on Titan, right? Like, you know how in season 4, right? Like, Eren completely changed everything, bro. And how did he do that? Well, he disappeared for like 5 years, and then he came back as a new person, right? Because while you're surrounded by your old friends and your old environment, it's very hard to change. So what did Eren do? He literally went to Marley and completely changed who he is, and came back as like this ultra mysterious guy. Like, bro, I literally did not even know that the guy sitting on the bench was Eren, bro. Like, his words held more weight. He became more calculative. He became smarter and calmer. In the first season, he was nobody. But in season 4, he almost... Law 5. So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. If you have the reputation of... How the f*** you say this, bro?
Reputation.
If you have the reputation of someone who's trustworthy, then people will trust you more. But if you have the reputation of someone who is lazy, undisciplined, and broke, then people will also treat you so. For example, what do you think of when I say the name Jeff Bezos? Successful? Rich? Multimillionaire? What do you think of when I say the name Adolf Hitler? Evil person? Misogynist? Dictator? What do you think of when I say the name James Charles?
Gay!
Remember, so much depends on your reputation. Guard it with your life. Law 48. Assume formlessness. As Bruce Lee once said, be like water. Adaptability is our greatest strength by God. Because if you master this law, then no matter what happens to you, you'll be fine. Your girlfriend left you, you'll adapt. Your business broke down, you'll adapt. Even if you lose everything, you will adapt. While others are being haunted by the past and present, you are the one who's moving forward, like water flowing along the stream of water. But there is a problem. You see, at the end of the day, the 48 Laws of Power is just a social skills book. It teaches you how to act and how not to act to gain power on other people. But what it does not teach you is how to gain power on yourself. And if you want to destroy your current self and build yourself anew, then click on this video right here where I teach you how to do exactly that.